the Middle East never sleeps. And these 24 hours have been absolutely insane. First up, we got informed that the commander of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad organization in Lebanon got eliminated. His name is Adham Adnan al-Othman. He was a long-term member of the terrorist organization and was responsible for directing and executing hundreds of terrorist operations against Israel. He was also training elite elements, recruiting saboteurs, and purchasing combat means for the organization. He was also an important body for the smuggling of goods between Syria and Lebanon. Further, it states that the Defense Army will continue to operate forcefully to remove any threat to the state of Israel. Well, look at that. The terrorist organization in Lebanon just lost one of their most important members. Hussein Makulat was the head of the intelligence apparatus of the terrorist organization. Next up, we got informed that Israeli tanks are entering Lebanon. But not only that, the IDF now officially said that soldiers have entered and are operating in Lebanon. Also, Nawaf Salam, the Prime Minister of Lebanon, just issued a statement saying that all terrorist activities in Lebanon are banned hours after Israel attacked the terrorist organization in Lebanon. We got also a video showcasing an Iranian drone striking a building in Dubai. Let's watch the whole video. Our official statement and summary was made by the Central Command about the operation dubbed Epic Fury. These are the results of the first 48 hours. This is the first picture. First, we have the overview. It basically states when the operation was launched and who the target was, so Iran. We see all the assets the United States are using currently. Firstly, as we all know, the B-1 and B-2 stealth bombers. Then the F-35 stealth fighter jets, the MQ-9 Reaper drones, which are used for espionage, and other special capabilities, which are not listed here. The types of targets were command and control centers, different types of headquarters, air defense systems, the ballistic missile sites, Navy ships and submarines, anti-ship missiles, and other communication capabilities. Next up, we have a video showcasing the attacks from the United States, but you know what? Screw that, because we have the same video, but in a way better version.
Friendly AC artillery in the air. Securing C. Charlie secure.
It is confirmed. Donald Trump did not only score the first place in the game, but all 11 ships in the Gulf of Oman have been absolutely destroyed. The US Central Command states that the Iranian regime harassed and attacked international shipping in the Gulf of Oman for decades. Those days are over. Next up, we have a video showcasing how Iran continues to launch ballistic missiles and how the US forces remain on the hunt to eliminate this threat. And yet again another video. The USA states that Operation Epic Fury is absolutely laser focused on destroying Iranian offensive missiles. At last, we'll see Iran's foreign minister interviews before and after the war. This one is Iran's deputy foreign minister, Majid Ravanchi. The other foreign minister will be Abbas Araghchi.
If the America or Israel engages in animosity against Iran, definitely we will be in self-defense mode, and we will target the American assets, the American military bases in the region, wherever they are located, because they are legitimate targets.
This time, if it is between Iran and the US, since the US bases are spread all over the region, then inevitably, many parts of the region would be involved, engaged, and that could be very dangerous. So I don't even want to think about that.
With us now is the Deputy Foreign Minister of Iran, Majid Takhravanchi. Deputy Minister, thank you for being with us. President Trump has suggested that he is open to negotiations with Iran at this point. What room for negotiations do you see?
Good morning, John. As you are aware, we have been under the United States and Israeli aggression for the last couple of days, and they have committed a big crime in the midst of negotiations while we were in Geneva just 2 days before the attack against Iran. We were having serious negotiations with our counterparts through the mediation of Omani foreign minister. And then everybody was satisfied at the end of the meeting. And in fact, we were supposed to send our technical teams to Vienna today. And then at the end of this week, we agreed to meet again. So all of a sudden, after the end of the meeting, just on Saturday, we faced a naked aggression being committed by the United States and Israel. How can they justify this while their delegates were satisfied with the negotiations, and 2 days after they committed a big crime? How can one talk about diplomacy while they betrayed the diplomacy, while they betrayed the trust needed for a diplomacy?
Who is in charge in Iran this morning?
The Constitution speaks for itself. We have a president, we have head of judiciary, we have the head of parliament. The supreme leader was assassinated, was martyred by Israeli and American aggression, and now a council is in charge, comprised of 3 people, who is doing his job until the new leader is going to be elected. So everything is in order.
As you mentioned, the strikes against Iran are being carried out by Israel and the United States. Why then is Iran striking back against the United Arab Emirates, against Bahrain, against Qatar, against Kuwait, against Jordan? Why stage these attacks?
First of all, we have good relations with our neighbors. Our policy towards our neighbors is quite clear. We want best of relations with our neighbors. At the same time, before the aggression, we informed our neighbors that if the America or Israel engages in animosity against Iran, definitely we will be in self-defense mode, and we will target the American assets, the American military bases in the region, wherever they are located, because they are legitimate targets in accordance with Article 51 of the UN Charter. Therefore, whatever we are doing is to act in self-defense against American targets and American assets in the region.
Why is a hotel in Dubai a legitimate target?
Our policy remains the same. As I said, we attack military bases and military assets. If they remove from one base to another, that is not our problem.
How about the Saudi oil fields just across the Gulf? Why is that a target?
No, we are not responsible for that. We have already been in touch with our Saudi brothers, and we have talked about this issue. Iran is not responsible for the attack against the oil installations in Saudi Arabia. We have made it clear. We have officially announced today that was not one of the targets of the Iranian armed forces.
But these other nations in the region, whether it be Kuwait or the UAE or Oman or Qatar, should they continue to expect Iranian attacks?
As long as the aggression persists, we will be in a self-defense mode, and we will act accordingly.
We have seen pictures from inside Iran of people celebrating the death of Ayatollah Khamenei. What is your reaction to those celebrations?
I'm sure that you have already seen the people pouring in the streets immediately after the announcement in the Iranian media about the demise of the supreme leader. So the people are mourning today in Iran, and they are very angry. The atmosphere is very angry today in Iran about the naked aggression against a leader of the Islamic Revolution who has many followers, and not only in Iran but also in other Islamic countries. He was the leader of a religious leader of millions of Shiites.
But how do you explain the celebrations that we have also seen?
I don't know what you are talking about, but if you compare those with people who have poured into the streets, the comparison speaks for itself.
How long can Iran hold out against the U.S. and Israeli attacks, which President Trump now says could last 4 or 5 weeks?
No, we will defend ourselves to the best of our ability, and time is not of the essence. We will do whatever necessary to protect our sovereignty and our people, no matter what.
Deputy Foreign Minister Majid Takhravanchi, we appreciate your time this morning. Thank you very much.
Dr. Archie, thank you very much for the opportunity for this interview. We're obviously in very delicate times right now between the United States and Iran. As we sit here, how big is the threat of a war between the two countries?